amp wiring, sub wiring, sway bar mounts,
Heat shrink.
heat shrink.
The more I think about it, the more it gives me a headache. Doc, I need you. You lazy bum. Get off Red Dead Redemption. Let's get that bread.
PG.
Welcome back to a new episode of Project d.i.y. The rain has disappeared. It's probably going to come back, but the sun's out and it's quite hot. But I just did like 2 hours of shopping and running around because I needed a few bits and pieces. Realised I needed to service the car, so I grabbed the necessities to service. And also, a couple of weeks ago I was speaking about my wideband. I've got to rewire it. So when I did the gauges, they were all wired up to run off my 12 volt little cigarette charger. But the wideband is connected to the ECU, and because there's so much shit running off that 12 volt, it's lacking power supply, and then it's not giving the wideband what it wants, it's not giving the ECU what it wants. So I'm going to run like a standalone constant 12 volt to the wideband to keep it good, to keep my airflow, air fuel stoic. And what we're going to do with that, Callum, the doc, helped me a bit. So we're going to run off a relay. So we're going to take 12 volts straight from the battery, put it into a relay, put it into the gauge and the supporting wires, and then just service the car. It's kind of it, but I'll have to get back underneath that bird's nest of wires and fuck around with that shit. Oh, I don't even know.
We may need the doc
Yeah.
at some points.
He was around before and he pulled out some little shizzamaboos. So, battery, power wire going to the relay, ground. Oh, okay, that's the accessory wire and the box. Oh, it's some shit like that. I don't even know. The more I speak about it, the more I get confused. So, I think we're just going to jump in the deep end and start wiring it up. First things first, got to disconnect the battery so I don't kill myself or anything in the car. So hopefully it crips on.
Taxi.
I reckon. Wait with me on the dance floor. You and me again. Oh, no. This bitch hard. Fuck. Oh. Do you like what I got going on here? So, what this is, terminal straight to the battery, to the relay on this side, and then we're going to do another power cable from the relay inside the dash. So, I'm new to this, so this is my first time I'm jumping into the deep end here. I've done a little bit of research, the docs helped me, but we're going to try our best. Yeah, let's see how it goes. You need scissors. Do you need scissors?
When did you get a crow's nest?
Oh, I reckon, huh? It's my spare wiring.
Amp wiring, sub wiring, sway bar mounts,
Heat shrink.
heat shrink.
You light that up. Have a look at that, mate. Oh, we're on fire.
Look at it shrinking. Look at it doing what it's supposed to.
Heat shrink's simply just an insulator. Ah! That's hot. That would have been a bad idea to grab that. Don't grab it.
It would be a bad idea to grab it. Grabs it.
I just wanted to see if it was hot. So, like, it's meant to be an insulator. So, like, you can't... I don't know if you can see in the wires inside of there. Like, it's sort of done its job. But, it's going to the battery anyway, so you won't be able to see it. So, that's like that. On this end, we need to put one of the connectors... I don't know, let me get it out. So, battery to one of these, 85, 86. I think that's what he said. But I'll double check, and then one goes to one of these with a spade terminal on it, and then another spade terminal to inside into the gauge, and then you got some other bullshit that we'll get into. So, let me find out which one goes on this. Alright, so I'm back. I didn't get to do too much on that relay, because I'm like, the service is more important, so I did that. Oil filter, air filter, fuel filter, you know, the go. Definitely needed to be done. That's all done. All I did on the relay was just properly run. I didn't put it in, I just like, did it on the floor. The positive and the negative and the ground, and I put a fuse between the positive cable. So I did that, but I didn't do too much. So tonight, me and Mr. Adam, we're gonna go give the car a wash, go get some dinner, and then see where the road takes us. What's up, my little strawberries? I'm back. It's the next week. So last week we started the fuse. And service the car. Service went all right. So I'm back to do this fuse because it's doing my head in. Because every time the loom wants to drain power, for example, from the rad fans or some shit, my wideband decides to lose power and then it leans out and then it's connected to the ECU, so the whole car runs like shit. Oh, it's just doing my head in. So that's the whole reason I'm doing this relay. So I've got constant 12 volt. It's not going to drain. It's not going to fucking do anything stupid. So we're in the car. Last week we did run the power wire from the battery to the relay. We've run the ground or negative, whichever way you want to call it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to run another power switch, but that's going to be off an accessory wire, for example, the head unit, or that sun right off the bonnet. The head unit, something that turns on when I click the key over to accessories. Got to do that. What else I got to do? I can't remember. I can't remember what the last one is. But we're going to do that. So, we're in the car. I'm going to start pulling off all this. Don't worry about the mess. Don't look at the mess. I'm going to start pulling this Shazam off. Because the box I need is behind here, or underneath here, for the wideband. For the wideband, oh, that is so dusty on camera, wow. Before I do that, it might be a good idea to clean the car. But nah. You could probably see in the back as well. Don't look in there. Just keep your eye this way. So yeah, let's get all this out so we can start running some new wires. Let's get this, the trusty masking tape that's been there for so long. Oh, look at that stickiness. It's so sticky. Oh, yuck. It's fucking, look at, yuck. It's like... Alright, so that's the bird's nest we're working with. What have we got here? What is this white one? I don't know. We've got all this other shit. This is the box we need. This little module box, which is for the wideband. So what do we got? This little auxiliary wire is the gauge, so we don't need that. these are the power wires which we need. I'm so confused. I don't know. We don't need that, and I can't remember what that one is. The more I think about it, the more it gives me a headache. Doc, I need you. You lazy bum. Get off Red Dead Redemption. The smart thing has been done. Disconnected the battery so we don't all die. So what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to run another power wire from the fuse that's inside the engine bay into the cabin and up through here. I've drilled 2 holes. Let's see if you can see. There's like a hole right there, and there's another hole on this side. There's another hole on that side. I'm going to run the power cable up through here and connect it to this. This is the power wire for this box. I think we're just going to connect it to that instead of this running inside. And then we've got a spade that could potentially come loose underneath the dash somewhere. Oh my god, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but around the wire I'm kind of stuck in between the seat and whatnot. So this is on the passenger side. Don't know what this is, but I ran the power wire with this, which goes through the engine bay, through the loom. Not through the loom, but through that hole, and I found the wire. Sweet, so now we need to run that back. Need to run that wire back up through here and up the top with all the other wires. But that's kind of one of the hard bits done. So I'll get a nice length. Oh, I need a break. I need another step 3, I think. So I can't get my hand up that high. I've got some battle scars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a coat hanger, put it down the hole, connect the wire up to it, pull it up. Hopefully that'll work. I think that's how we did it last time, I think. So we'll try that. That is the coat hanger that I've pulled through. Boop, boop. So we can, where's the end? Put this, oh shit. We'll just tape that to that, and then we'll pull it back through. Oh, okay, it's right there. Pull it back up through, and that's our wire run, which helps a lot. Pretty comfy out here, except for the part where you got to put your head underneath the dash, but just embracing life, you know. Just soaking in the serenity. What the fuck am I talking about? No, we're stuck on something. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What are we stuck on? I can't even see up there. Uh-oh, we did an uh-ohs. And with a bit of persuasion, oh no, it's stuck again, no it's not. We've got the wire through there. All the way through there. Now what we need to do is unwrap this. We put a... What do we do? Hold up. I'm just buffering. So we're going to put a spade on that one we just pulled through and connect it to the power wire that goes to the box. And then the other side of this wire goes to the fuse. Relay. So, cool bananas. That's another thing done. I could get that from there. I could use that one that I just took off, can't I?
Yeah.
Because that's to the top.
Yeah.
Hey! We don't have to run another wire.
That's it, man.
Oh, yeah, we do. We've got to run another one back down into the engine bay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a look. Callum's here. Mr. Doc. I sent out a smoke signal to him and he came down. he came up with a good point the other day. If we find a trigger source in the engine bay, it'll be a lot cleaner. So I think I'll go have a look for it if we can find something that's pretty close. If not, I'll just use the one that's in here.
Let's do it. Hey, have you seen this rig? It is big. It is a rig.
Bit hard to miss.
I mean, if you didn't look closely enough, you might miss it.
Adam, watch out, there's a car there.
Oh, fuck!
Your duct tape needs more duct tape.
Your tape duct needs more
ran
tape
out of
duct.
duckies. We used them all.
I'm gonna get horse tape. In my defense, I did not build this car, nor did I repair this car. Nah, Ford did. No, it's this. Oh!
Is that a Maverick?
No.
So, what we have worked out, we're in the fuse box, and this wire is for the switch, so which turns it on, and when you turn the car off, it won't stay on. So we've worked out that one in there is the switch for my fog lights, which I'm not running anymore. That goes to the relay. That goes to the relay, and the other wires that I made up go to the relay, and it's done. Clean a little bits and pieces up, and we can turn it on and see if it works. And if it doesn't, well, free. What's wrong?
Nothing. You got to bunch it up a bit.
Thank God you know what you're doing with wires.
Yeah, I don't think I've done this before.
It's like putting on a big sock.
Yeah. Just got to bulge it, grab it, and feed
That's
it.
enough.
Calm down.
Alright, so as my camera was on charge, in the meantime we hooked the relay up, did a few testers, and the signal wire that was in the fuse box wasn't working as we were planning to. So I'm just going to run a manual switch onto it, run the switch inside the cabin. So what I've got to do is run another wire from the relay into the cabin into a switch which I can which is accessible. So here I'm going to run, this one's just a dead switch that used to work. There's the fog light switch that we were planning on using, which isn't working, and we've got these two blank spaces, so I think I'll just take this one out, hopefully put the other one in, and that can be our signal wire. That'll be able to switch it on and off. So let's do that. You want to see a magic trick? Okay.
Oh no, I didn't collect your mail yesterday.
Oh, I'm waiting on a post. I bought some pottery. Oh, fuck. Fuck.
Got him.
Yeah, so I'm just cleaning up some wires. That was a random ground. That was connected to the fuse box with a fuse. That was in there. Cal put some shit over there that I threw him. And this red wire is over ground as well, which shouldn't be ground. That's what I'm taking off now, clean it up a bit. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and get that off. So that's the old switch. Try and get that off and see if my new one fits, which I don't think it will. But we'll get this thing running tonight. It's easy, it's just fiddly shit, you know? Little bits and bobs. Phone now. No freaking cares. Let's go on Cal's phone. Nat. I'm losing me brains. We're gonna put this switch in. I don't know where it's going, but I'm just gonna wire it up anyway. So we need an earth for that. We need a 12 volt for that, and then we need the switch wire that's in the engine bay. That was the white one. So I found this one in the engine bay before. I'm going to use this as an earth. I'm going to put a ring on this side. I might even chop it down a bit. Let's get that bread.
PG.
just trying to find a power source that's as close as possible so I don't have to run a stupid wire inside the dash or whatever. But it's kind of hard to find, so I'm gonna have to get this bread. What about this one? What's this green colour? Is that a power wire? Let's find out. Next.
It's gotta be. Oh.
So, the more you know.
Make sure that when you phone.
I don't know. Close the doors, I'll try and lock it and see if it's related to a lock.
Nah.
You don't reckon?
Nah.
Oh. Whoa. That was, no, okay. That was weird. No. Constant. Are you putting that one on? Yeah. On?
Yeah.
Off.
Right. Switch it off, start the car, then turn it on.
It won't read.
Right, turn it on. Start the car.
That's better than before already.
That is a nice fat cold start. That's what I want to see because that's that idling bridge coming through.
Yeah.
And now she's starting to.
Yeah. Well, it's not even stoic yet. It's still under.
Yeah.
By
which
now,
is,
it'd be up.
Which is what it should be. It should be sitting there. 14.6. Look at that.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Fucking mint, man. Aced it.
Go back. Hey, we did it. So it's now on a switch that I can turn off and on, but you don't want to turn it off while the car's on, or else you got a boo boo. So hopefully he's not going to fuck with too much shit. So we ended up running a switch. I had to run another 12 volt. That white one's going to the relay over on the other side. Black one's just a ground. I've ran everything around here. But yeah, we've got it working now, which is cool. I said before that the fog light one we couldn't get going, so that's why we've had to do this.
Give it a blip. Give it a blip. You should be able to watch it lean out a touch.
That was rich as fuck.
Hey.
That's gonna be so rich.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, fuel economy.
Hey.
Rest in peace, fuel economy.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. It's actually going to start fueling right now.
Oh, smell that. Oh, that is fucking fueling. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's running like it should be now. Because that's the primary O2, isn't it? That sends to the ECU, yeah.
Huh?
That sends to the ECU, yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a primary.
So now it's 100% on its own power circuit. Your car should actually be running. Oh, okay, it's running a little bit lean.
Oh, unless it's not burning.
Yeah, maybe.
But it was before it was already changed.
Yeah.
It is still cold.
Yeah.
So the car got all done. I had to put the camera on charge again. We've made it work through a switch. I'm not near the car by any means, but I can look at it.
They didn't see the switch. No, you can't.
Well, yeah, when you're in the way.
Damn straight. I'm big enough to take up the full frame.
And
that's where the fish are.
but that's all working now. We did test it. Constant 14 volts, which is awesome. That's what we wanted. The ECU has to self-learn, which sucks. So I'll definitely see in a couple of days if it worked or not, which it should have. I don't see why not. But that's it for this episode of Project Driveway. If you did enjoy this episode, remember to leave a like, comment on how we did, and skip babu if you want some more. Yeah, subscribe, like, buy a jumper, the grouse.
Buy a sticker.
Buy merch.
Nah, seriously,
Visit the website.
Jumpers, bro. I'm just gonna zoom in your head real quick.
Okay.
Do something stupid.
I don't do anything stupid.
Adam, you're pretty stupid.